In this lesson, I'm going to introduce you to the last set of 3 idea engines that you can use to generate good business ideas that have the potential to become successful businesses. Remember, even if you already have one or several business ideas you're excited about, the insights you get from this lesson and this course in general will give you a lot of clarity and confidence. So in this course, so far I've introduced you to 8 idea engines. They are fixers, waves, authority, the CPL method, storm chasers, the piggyback, nurses, and platforms. In this lesson, I'll be introducing you to the last 3 idea engines. They are the Rockstar, Channel Play, and Transformers. There's quite a bit of interesting ground to cover in this lesson, so let's get started. The first idea engine is the Rockstar. Now, a Rockstar is a successful and well-known product or brand or company that is the giant in the marketplace. In business terms, a Rockstar is what is known as a market leader. It's called a market leader because it has the largest or lion's share of the market. For example, Coca-Cola is the Rockstar in the soda market. At the time of recording this lesson, Coca-Cola controls more than 50% of the global market in carbonated soft drinks. In the fast food market, McDonald's is the Rockstar with more than 37,000 locations in 120 countries. And when it comes to the internet browser market, Google Chrome is definitely the Rockstar at the time of producing this lesson. So you might be asking yourself, what is the business opportunity in a Rockstar? You see, the problem with Rockstars is that success can come with its own weaknesses. When a brand, product, or business becomes very big and successful, they may start to make mistakes. They may start to take some of their customers for granted and stop listening to customer feedback. They may become slow. Their products may become more expensive. The company may become less innovative or less responsive than they used to, or they may start to compromise the quality of their products or services. That's why one good strategy for identifying good business ideas is to look for one or more weaknesses in a Rockstar and become the challenger to the Rockstar. Now, remember, before Google Chrome, Microsoft's Internet Explorer was the Rockstar. Before Netflix, Blockbuster was the Rockstar. And before Android took over the operating system of more than half of the smartphone market, BlackBerry OS and Nokia's Symbian were the Rockstars. So the reality is, as long as there are Rockstars, there will always be an opportunity to be better than the Rockstar at something. Your product could be better, it could be faster, it could be more innovative, your product may be more affordable, it could be more effective, or more customer friendly, more environment friendly, or something. The goal here is to edge out the Rockstar or to challenge the Rockstar by being a bit better. So let me show you an example of an entrepreneur who has built a global business empire by successfully following the strategy of challenging Rockstars in their markets. Now, Sir Richard Branson, the British billionaire, is famous for using the Rockstar strategy to start dozens of companies. At the time of recording this lesson, Richard Branson has up to 60 different businesses in his Virgin group of companies. He successfully used the Rockstar strategy in the music industry, in the airline industry, in the banking industry, and several other industries. With his first business, Virgin Records, Richard Branson directly challenged the big record companies at the time by personalizing and improving the customer experience of producing and buying music records. In the airline industry, Richard Branson specifically started Virgin Atlantic to challenge the market position of British Airways, which was the biggest airline company in the UK in the 1980s. Now, after more than 30 years, Virgin Atlantic is still one of the world's most successful airlines, and British Airways still exists. So it's possible for the Rockstar and the challenger to still exist side by side, because all you're doing is taking some market share from the Rockstar. And in the 1990s, Richard Branson tried the same strategy by challenging Coca-Cola in the carbonated drinks market. He successfully launched Virgin Cola in the UK, and the product outsold both Coke and Pepsi in the UK for the first 2 years. But when he tried to enter the US market, the American market, with Virgin Cola, Coca-Cola finally defended its position and used its weight to crush Virgin Cola. Still, Branson continues to apply the Rockstar strategy successfully in different markets. He created Virgin Money to challenge the big banks, and he's also done the same thing in the hotels, travel, tourism, and fitness industries. Now, let's look at the upsides and downsides of using the Rockstar strategy to generate business ideas. A major upside of this strategy is that you will be entering a market with a proven opportunity rather than looking for a new and unproven market. The presence and success of a big brand or product in any market proves there is money in that market. Another upside is that you may only need a small slice of the market to become a successful business. For example, the global soda market, the global carbonated drinks market, is estimated at about $500 billion a year. This is how much consumers around the world spend on soda every year. In this market, the Coca-Cola company has about a 40 to 50% share, and PepsiCo, the brand behind Pepsi, has about 20% of the global market. If you can only capture a tiny fraction of this market, say 0.01% of the market, that's already $50 million in annual revenues, and it's still a lot of money for a new company entering a very mature and established market. Remember, you really don't need to overthrow a Rockstar to be successful in their market. All you just need is a slice of the market. All you need is to etch them off a slice of the market. All you need is just to take some market share. You may not overthrow them, but you may end up taking some considerable market share. Even though the size of the market share you take may not be much in the eyes of the Rockstar, but for a new company, it's actually something. So in terms of downsides, one major downside is that Rockstars can crush your business, and this is important to take to heart. Successful companies and big brands tend to have deep pockets and extensive resources that they can use to frustrate or push you out of business. That's exactly what Coca-Cola did to Virgin Cola when Richard Branson tried to challenge Coca-Cola's dominance in the US market. Another downside of this strategy is you may need considerable resources to enter a market dominated by a rockstar. In some markets, rockstars behave like cartels or monopolies that make it difficult for new players to enter the market. Unless you can fly under the radar to avoid detection, entering such markets may require significant investments of time, energy, and money. So, how can you start generating business ideas with a Rockstar strategy? The best place to start is to get a sheet of paper or open a Word document on your computer and create 3 columns. In the first column, make a list of the most popular brands, products, or companies around you. And in the second column, make a list of the weaknesses you have noticed in their products or weaknesses you've noticed other people have been complaining about. And then in the third column, write down ideas of improvements, innovations, products or services that you could offer that are better, faster, safer, more affordable, more effective, more customer friendly, or more something better in some way. The second idea engine I want to show you in this lesson is channel play. Now, for those of you watching this who don't know what a channel is in business terms, I'll explain. A channel is a place where customers find, buy, or use a product or service. So for example, if you want to buy books, you have a couple of options. You could walk into your local bookstore or order for books on Amazon and they will be delivered to you. Now, your local bookstore and Amazon are 2 different channels through which you can get the books you want. Another example, if you want a taxi, you have a couple of options. You could walk outside your house and then hail a cab, or you can pull out your phone and order a taxi on an app like Uber. Now, you will still get a ride, you will still get a taxi through both of these options, through both of these channels. I hope it makes sense to you. A channel is any place where customers can find, buy, or use a product or service. Now, some products have 1 or 2 channels, while some other products or services have multiple channels. Now, the goal of the channel play strategy is to create a new and valuable channel for customers to get a product or service. When customers want a product, they are more likely to use the channel that is faster, cheaper, safer, more convenient, more affordable, more flexible, or better in some way. So Uber is a successful business because many people prefer to order taxis on their phones rather than stand in the street and hail taxis. Amazon.com is one of the most successful retailers in the world today because a lot of people prefer to buy things online rather than take the time and energy to physically visit a shop, a mall, or supermarket. Now, therefore, one way to discover good business ideas is to sell or introduce existing products or services through a new or different channel. Now, successful companies like Uber, Amazon, Airbnb, and Netflix are just examples of channel play business ideas. All these guys have really done is provide a better channel for people to buy products or use services. Now, but let me show you an example of one entrepreneur who has successfully used the channel play strategy to start a successful business. Now, this is Etop Ikpe. He's the founder of Cars45. Now, Cars45 is an online retailer of used and second-hand vehicles in Nigeria. For decades, if you wanted to buy or sell used cars in most parts of Africa, you had only two options. You could either work with a local dealer or middleman, or you could buy or sell the car yourself. Now, working with local dealers and middlemen can be difficult and frustrating. The process is not always transparent, and it can take a long time before the dealer finds the right buyer or seller for you. Also, selling or buying a used car yourself can be very inconvenient, and you may not get a very good price. Now, that's the opportunity that Cars45 exploited to launch its business in the Nigerian market. By leveraging the internet and using its website as a new channel, Cars45 provides a faster and more convenient channel for anyone to buy or sell a used car. And only a few years after it launched, Cars45 successfully attracted $5 million in funding from international investors. And it now has plans to expand into Ghana and Kenya as of the time of recording this lesson. Now, let's look at a few upsides and downsides of using the channel play strategy to generate business ideas. One major upside of the channel play strategy is that you will benefit from a ready and proven market, because all you're doing is providing a new and better channel for meeting a market demand that already exists. Another upside of the channel play strategy is that creating a new and better channel can be a strong competitive advantage that differentiates you from other businesses and makes you unique and innovative in the eyes of consumers. In terms of downsides, one major downside is the novelty factor. Sometimes customers are afraid or skeptical of unfamiliar channels they haven't used before. It can take time and persuasion to get people to change their buying habits. As a result, you may have to invest time, money, and energy to educate and convince people to try your new channel. Another downside is that creating a new channel from scratch may prove to be capital intensive and may require considerable resources to build and support. So, how can you generate business ideas with a channel play strategy? The best place to start is to get a sheet of paper, or as usual, open a Word document on your computer and create two columns. In the first column, make a list of existing channels you've noticed that are difficult or hard to use. Look out for channels that are slow, inconvenient, unsafe, inflexible, expensive, inefficient, or unfriendly to customers. Now, in the second column, write down ideas and alternatives that can improve on the weaknesses or limitations of the channels you have identified and why you think customers will prefer your new channel over the existing channel. And then the third and final idea engine I want to talk to you about in this lesson is the transformer. Now, the transformer is an interesting strategy because it's a two-way strategy that can be used to upgrade or downgrade a product or service in a way that makes it more appealing to customers or attracts an entirely new segment of customers for you. Now, remember, the transformer strategy can work both ways. You can use it as an upgrade strategy or a downgrade strategy. Let's look at the upgrade version of the transformer. So with the upgrade version, you can transform an ordinary, standardized, or everyday product or service into a luxury product, an elite service, or a high-priced offer. Essentially, what you're doing is you're converting an ordinary product into a brand, into a more valuable brand. And for example, a typical haircut in a big city like London could cost between 10 and 30 pounds. But in a VIP salon that offers premium haircuts, you could pay more than 300 pounds for a haircut. Now, even though it's just a haircut, some customers are willing to pay much more for a premium service, even though they can get the same haircut for much less. Another example is seats on an airplane. Even though everybody on the plane is going to the same destination, the customers in first class or business class often pay up to 3 to 5 times more than customers in economy class. It's the same plane that's going to the same place, but the prices of the seats are different. Now, the insight here is that if you can offer premium or additional services on top of a basic offer, you will often find customers who will be willing to pay a much higher price than the basic product or service. Now, this upgrade strategy is used in many industries. It's used in fashion, it's used in wristwatches, it's used in mobile phones, automobiles, food, restaurants, hotels, and most categories. Now, the other way the transformer strategy can work is the downgrade version. The goal of the downgrade strategy is to transform or democratize an exclusive, expensive, or elite product or service into an offer that more people can access and afford. So the business idea here is that when you downgrade or democratize a premium product or service, you will be sacrificing the high product margins in favor of higher volumes and probably more impact. So the downgrade strategy, the downgrade version, is the opposite of the upgrade version. What you're doing with the downgrade version is to get something that was out of reach to most of the market and then create a version that is more accessible and more affordable to most people. So now that you know how the transformer strategy works in both ways, let me share a few examples and success stories of a business and an entrepreneur who have applied each of the strategies to great effect. Wealthfront is an American investment management service that has made it easy and affordable for ordinary people to be able to invest small sums of money and get world-class professional advice. So for centuries, only rich people and big corporations had the funds to afford the services of professional financial planners, elite investment advisors, and wealth managers. But with Wealthfront, with only about $500, Wealthfront allows customers to start saving and investing, and also gain access to professional investment advice with very low fees. So by automating most of the process of its services, Wealthfront has successfully downgraded and democratized what used to be a premium and elite service that was exclusive to mainly the rich and wealthy people of the world. Wealthfront has now transformed it into a standardized service that much more people, more ordinary people, more average Joes can afford. Wealthfront is now a wildly successful company because of this strategy and had more than $20 billion in assets under management at the turn of the last decade, that's at the end of 2019. So another interesting example of the transformer strategy in action. Now, this is the other side, the upgrade strategy, is Alexander Amosun. Now, Alexander is a London-based Nigerian entrepreneur who specializes in customizing luxury products for rich people and high net worth individuals. He customizes everything from gadgets like phones, tablets, and laptops to fashion items like clothing, fragrances, and cigars. Now, some of his works include customized solid gold iPhones encrusted with diamonds, an exquisite bespoke men's suit made from 3 of the world's most expensive wools, with buttons made of 18-karat solid gold and diamonds. Now, the suit, which was lauded at the time as the world's most expensive suit at the time, was sold to an anonymous buyer and valued at almost £70,000. His current business, Lux Afrique, focuses on providing a variety of customization services to high net worth Africans and luxury brands targeting rich people in Africa. So as you can see, this is the reverse of the downgrade strategy. This is the upgrade strategy. What this guy simply does is take everyday normal items that anybody can buy, like phones, laptops, suits, and anything, and then he adds premium value to it so that it can appeal to the rich and wealthy people who are willing to pay much more for exclusive and elite items. So now that we've seen a few examples, let's now look at some of the major upsides and downsides of the transformer strategy. Now, one upside is that you can carve a niche for yourself by transforming an existing product or service into a format that did not really exist before. And this can be a very effective way to differentiate your business from the competition. Another upside is that upgrading or downgrading a product or service allows you to create a new offer that will likely appeal to your existing customers. It could attract new customers and bring more sales to your business. So in terms of downsides, one downside is that serving a new type of customer can come with its challenges. For example, providing customized services to premium customers means that you may be spending most of your time and effort dealing with the same or a handful of customers. On the other hand, providing low-price products or services requires more capacity from your business to deal with a high volume of customers and orders. Another downside is that the transformer strategy may not work for your business if you cannot show or justify what makes your product or service different or outstanding from others on the market. So, how can you generate business ideas with the transformer strategy? The best place to start, as usual, is to get a sheet of paper or open a Word document on your computer and then create 2 columns. In the first column, make a list of ordinary, everyday products or services that you can customize to appeal to a richer or wealthier audience. And in the second column, make a list of exclusive, expensive or elite products and services that you can downgrade or democratize so that more people can afford and access them. So in this lesson, I introduced you to the third and final set of 3 important idea engines. I talked about Rockstars, Channel Play, and Transformers. In total, I have introduced you to 11 different idea engines that you can use to generate a rich pool of high potential business ideas. In the next lesson, I'll be showing you something exciting. In the next lesson, I'll talk to you about the next steps you need to take to move beyond the idea stage. Remember, ideas are not businesses. You need to take certain important steps to transform an idea into a real business that attracts customers, makes money, and keeps you happy. And I'll be talking to you about how you can do just that in the next lesson. You really don't want to miss the next lesson. But before I end this lesson, I need you to do something. Head over to the comment section below this video and tell me which of the 3 idea engines in this lesson you like the most and why. If your comment is interesting enough, I could pitch in and give you some feedback. Also, more importantly, I need you to do somebody a favor. Use the social media buttons below this video to share this important lesson with your friends, your family, and people you care about. A lot of people out there want to become entrepreneurs, but have no clue how to generate good business ideas that will not disappoint or bankrupt them. So please share this lesson with people you know, and I'm sure they'll be grateful to you forever. See you in the next lesson. Cheers.